thoughts. But we have to be mindful and analyze that. And like you were saying, by writing things down, it's truly powerful when you put pen to paper or paper to pen. It's powerful when you write things down, you write visions, you meditate on what you want, brainstorm, and just go back and just look at the vision, write it down upon paper. And once you kind of like have an idea of what direction you want to go, and put your thoughts down on paper, get you a journal. Journaling is very powerful, keeping a journal. And so when you see it on paper, you can become more clear in your thought processes. So what you're sharing with us is truly knowledge and giving us the keys and strategies that will help us to reach our next level of success in our lives. Truly it is. And first of all, I want to thank you so very much for your service and dedication to our country. You are a retired United States Army Major. Your recently retirement from the military has afforded you the opportunity of a lifetime to continue service to others as a motivational speaker and head of nonprofit organizations dedicated to female veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder. Also, you're a proud owner of World Slave Creative Agency. And, Keli, I'm aware that you're a committed, minded, professional, performance-driven, extremely energetic woman producing your own unique work, and you have such a compelling vision. What is your compelling vision of how to develop leadership strategies?
Yeah, I was just recently talking to my nutritionist, as a matter of fact, and just, put the story in a nutshell. She works at a fitness center here in Houston. And you would think that here it is in 2019 that, and especially working in a health facility, that she wouldn't be experiencing sexual harassment. But it wasn't just her, but it was 5 other ladies, young ladies at the health facility experiencing the same thing. And when she and I started talking, she said, well, Keli, I want to do the right thing here, but I can't stay here. I feel like I just need to leave. I want to do the right thing for the women that I'm leaving behind in this organization, but I feel like I can't deal with this. I need to go. And this is when you have a question of leadership. This, in moments like this is a little micro moment where you have to decide, am I going to take care of me or am I going to take care of others? This is leadership, and this is why it's so difficult because, as human beings, in our DNA, we're designed to survive, to take care of ourselves. Leadership, honestly, I don't believe leadership is just something you're born with naturally because our DNA has coded us to survive, to take care of ourselves, right? So leadership can be learned, but this is in these situations where you have to think to yourself, do I want to take care of the group or want to take care of myself? So my advice to her was this: okay, how much good can you do if you stay? And how much are you willing to sacrifice? Because that's what leadership is. Am I willing to sacrifice for the greater good? Am I willing to sacrifice for a future I can't even see? For a future I don't even know, I can't 100% guarantee is even going to happen the way I want it to. But if you stand for something if you stand for it so greatly that none of that matters, that you just believe that if I stand here and I do the best that I can do in this moment, that a change will come, and you believe that no matter what, then you are a leader. And here's this is also what I told her. I said, okay, 2% of people actually think. 3% of people think they think. And 95% of people would rather die than think. And when you put things in perspective, it's so true. That's why you only have 2% of real leaders. Those are the ones who are really thinking. They're thinking about not just themselves. They're thinking about the people that are under their care. They're thinking about the future. They're thinking about generations that have yet to be born. That's leadership. If you can think about how your stand for something today can create a future that's better for everyone and maybe create even a movement around that, then you are a leader. That's leadership. And not everybody has it. Not everybody wants it. A leader can't be a leader without followers. A leader has to be able to create a movement and has to be able to inspire people to believe in their cause. And that's not for everybody. But if it's you, if you believe in something so much so that you're willing to sacrifice everything to see it through, you're a leader. Stand up and take it. Take it. Take whatever comes. And you got to understand, leaders sacrifice. Leaders have consequences all the time.
Yes, absolutely. And we have to lead with objectives in mind. And what a thrilling description of how a person can be inspired by just listening to you about leadership. This could become a center of their success in their lives, I must say. And what you share with us is tremendous. It's the type of blueprint that let us be successful architects, a peak performance that takes us above and beyond any ordinary definition of success. And there's a quote by Peter Rucker. He once says that to have more than you got, you have to become more than what you are. And he said, if you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. And so, so that's what you actually, sharing with us about these leadership strategies that we need to take into place to be effective leaders. And that was Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said to have more than you got, you have to become more than you are. But Peter Rucker, he was the one that says, if you want something new, you have to stop doing something old. And he also said the most important thing in communication is to hear what is not being said. Yes. So we're going to take these strategies that you have given to us, and it's going to be life-changing, absolutely life-changing for us in our personal life as well as our business life, that will help us take us to the next level. It truly will. And you have established the Island Night, the first Army newspaper in Okinawa. Also, you are very experienced in the art of leadership and influence. In addition, you are the inventor of the perfect pocket pitch deck, the world's only universally effective storytelling tool that helps you masterfully create keynote sales pitches, website, email campaigns, and more in minutes. And you have shared with the listening audience on these different strategies, and you have reached so many momentous feats in your life, I must say, and it's truly monumental, and we congratulate you on that as well. Can you give us an example in your life where you were able to gain from the pain by turning the situation of adversity to your victory in your life?
Oh, there's probably 1,000 of those because pain is everywhere, right? I was born with scoliosis, and so growing up, I had to wear this brace that went like underneath my chin and then all the way like past my hip, and it was huge. It made me kind of walk like Frankenstein, and I had to actually carry it with me to school when I wasn't wearing it at school. So I had to actually have the symbol of a deformity with me like all the time. And you know how kids are, right? It's just mean. They're bullies. They're mean. And I dealt with that. And I remember I prayed. I went to church, and I remember the pastor saying, when you believe in God, God can move mountains. He can do anything. And I took that literally. I took that literally as a mountain could literally be moved from point A to point B if you believe. And I said, now, if God can do that, God can make my spine straight, right? Now, I was probably, maybe 14, 15 at this time. Fast forward, here I am, my last tour in Iraq. Now, I still have scoliosis, but it's getting much worse by this point. And I suffered a great injury while I was in Iraq. Well, that injury required some surgery, and they just decided, well, okay, since we got to correct this one thing, let's go ahead and correct the scoliosis as well. And so today I am now titanium reinforced. My spine is just it's a titanium rod with all kinds of screws holding it together. And because of that, it was quite painful. It really took a long time to recover from all of this. Very painful. But because of all of that, I was forced into retirement early. I wasn't really ready to retire. Now, 20 years, yes, that's typical retirement, but I wasn't prepared. Like, I was going to just keep going on and on and on, but I was forced to retire. And in that moment, I had to find an organization that was going to help me figure out how to go from being a veteran to a civilian. And I watched all these commercials and saw these pamphlets of these organizations that claimed to help veterans. Well, when I called them, all I got was voicemails, voicemail after voicemail after voicemail after voicemail. And only out of like 10 organizations, many of which you've probably heard of, they're very famous organizations, out of 10 that I called, I got 2 return calls, 2 out of 10. And out of those 2, only 1 said they could help me with anything at all, and that was just a referral to a small business organization. That was it. I was looking at going from a steady paycheck every single month to 0 in 30 days. I had 30 days. I was about to go from steady paycheck to nothing, and I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. But because I was going through all of this, because I had gone through the surgery, because I had gone through this sudden loss of income, I was forced to relook at what my talents were. What are your talents? What can you do? What do you have right now that can help other people and help yourself? That's when the nonprofit was born, Trauma to Triumph. It was out of that, because I said there's no reason in the world that any veteran, but let alone women, because there was a lot of things out there for men. People tend to, when they imagine veterans, they automatically think of a man. But there wasn't hardly anything for women. So Trauma to Triumph was born out of that. And I said, okay, there's no way that any woman should serve their country well and then be left struggling trying to figure out how in the world they're going to take care of their families. So out of that pain came Trauma to Triumph, which has to date helped thousands of women who were homeless find permanent shelter, and also wraparound treatments such as drug and alcohol counseling, and they've also been helped with getting their benefits from the VA. So I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud that that organization still exists today. It's run now by Olivia Bush, who just helps tremendously. And then also out of that came my own business, which I said, I don't have anything. At the time, I was using a walker to walk. I couldn't just go run around and just go to job interviews. That wasn't an option for me. And I said, well, I've got pen and I've got paper. I can write. And that's what started the business with 0 money, like no money. Pen and paper, writing, and getting on the Internet and saying, I can write for you. How much will you pay me to write that for you? That was it. That's it.
And I'm a believer through pain there's purpose, and that we can gain from the pain. And that's actually what happened in your life. Even when people feel like they stagnated, but you are reaching the unreached. And you converted this painful mountain of experiences into your life, and it turned into an instrument of grace. And so you are showing people that even though you're going through these situations in life, that there is no valley too deep or no barrier too high to overcome. Because so many people feel like they're going through these daily influx of problems in their life, and they don't know what direction to go in. But there's still hope that tomorrow could be a better day for them. They have this brighter outlook on life, to never lose sight of your vision and your goals in life. And so even through all that, you are transforming and educating and inspiring the world through your journey and your story. And it's such a moving testimony that it shines a beacon of light and light the way for those who to follow. It's a path that shows your courage and your character and your conviction that cannot fail to make a contribution to humanity of historical dimensions. And so we appreciate your soul-stirring transparency, which is truly inspiring and motivating in the extreme, I must say. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Keli Chevalier, you have totally inspired me today. and I know the listening audience are, just are gleaning from